Welcome to Crypto Connection, keeping you connected to the world of crypto. Today's episode is going to be the first episode in our Bitcoin one-on-one series called What is Bitcoin? Almost everybody has heard of Bitcoin at one time or another, but the number of people that actually understand it is quite a bit lower. Now, before I begin, I want to express that this is intended to be a beginner-friendly overview of cryptocurrency, not really a technical review, so cut me a little slack there. Now, to begin with, I find it easier to understand cryptocurrency if you first understand fiat currencies, such as the US dollar or the euro. If you ask somebody what gives a dollar bill any value, you're liable to get at least a few people saying that it's backed by gold. It is true that there was a time when our currency was backed by gold, but those days have been gone since the Great Depression in the 1930s. The dollar bill today isn't backed by anything other than the good faith of the federal government. What this means is that the government can print however much cash they want and just dump it into the system, and we the people put our trust in them that they'll be responsible with it. The problem is, every dollar that's printed and pumped into the economy brings the value of the dollar in your bank account down. So far, the government's been pretty responsible with this vast power, but how long is that going to last? We live in uncertain times, and I, for one, lose more and more faith in our federal government by the day. How far are we really from a financial collapse like we've seen in other countries around the world, such as Greece and Venezuela? In today's digital age, we rarely actually see the money that we have physically. It's just a set of numbers and digits in a bank account that we can access through an app or a debit card. At this point, the dollar is really nothing more than a ledger system. This is exactly what cryptocurrency is. In crypto, we refer to the ledger as the blockchain. The difference is in who controls that ledger. With the current banking system, the bank has the final say in what is listed in anyone's ledger. If that bank closes, there's even a possibility that you could lose whatever you had listed on their ledgers. With cryptocurrency, the stakeholders all have to come to a consensus agreement that a transaction is valid. This means that if any individual outlet folds or is hacked, the money is still safe because the rest of the network is unaffected and do not recognize the unauthorized transactions. In order to be hacked or seized, 51% of the stakeholders would have to be affected. In this way, crypto is much more secure than any bank could ever be. One question you often hear is, well, where do these coins come from? Do they just appear out of thin air? Well, you remember the stakeholders I was talking about. There are various ways that different coins identify those people, but most of them do it through a process called mining. A miner runs a specific program on their computer that basically processes transactions on the blockchain. As a reward for processing these transactions, they're awarded digital coins as a sort of transaction fee. These coins are then sold on exchanges similar to the stock exchange, where a value for them is determined. A beautiful thing about blockchain technology is that it can be used for much more than just a monetary system, though. The blockchain can be used to store any number of things, from financial transactions to files to media. Companies like Siacoin are using blockchain technology to build a decentralized cloud storage service. Steam is even building a social media site on top of blockchain technology that pays you for posting in Steam coins, which can be traded for the currency of your choice. As you can see, the possibilities are really endless. Another great thing about crypto is the speed at which transactions can take place. If you were to wire money from your bank to a family member in Australia, for example, it's going to take a few days to show up. A time frame of 2 to 5 days would be typical. It would actually be quicker for you to go to your bank, withdraw that cash, fly to Australia, and give the money to your family member personally. It may actually be cheaper as well, depending on how much money you're trying to send due to the various bank fees. This same transaction could be done with cryptocurrency in about 5 seconds for fractions of a penny on the dollar. Momentum is really growing in the cryptocurrency community. In 2010, a single Bitcoin was valued at about 1/10 of a cent. In 8 short years, that same Bitcoin is valued at just over $10,000 at the time of this video. An investor who took a chance and spent just $10 on Bitcoin in 2010 would have a nice little nest egg of about $100 million today. You know, after hearing this, you might think that the time has passed and that you've missed the opportunity to get in at a reasonable price, but that's just not true. There are literally thousands of these cryptocurrencies on the market today, which means there are tons of opportunities. If you're new to cryptocurrency, now would be a great time to get involved while it's still young. As companies find ways to make blockchain technology more accessible in our everyday lives, these coins are just going to gain in value. If this sounds like something you really want to get into, you're going to want to stay tuned for our next Bitcoin one-on-one episode, where I'm going to go into how to purchase cryptocurrency for the first time. Until then, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back with more videos soon. Take care.